Asia, and welcome to PrivateerFX Asia Preview and the North American wrap. The North American morning, there was a bit of risk on in Europe and early North America. Euro yen reversing higher after selling off late yesterday, and dollar yen got right back up to 114 the figure after the late fall in New York yesterday, down to 113.25. At the same time, as you can see in this chart here, these are the 10-year notes. We broke some significant support levels. The 10-year yield breached the 240 level that anyone from Gunlock and company are highlighting as a major technical break higher in U.S. yields. As the day progressed, we had Corker and Trump in an early morning pissing match about tax reform. Markets started getting concerned about the tax reform not passing because of the rift between Corker and Trump. It was funny. Chuck Schumer came out and said Trump should stop tweeting and start leading, which I think all of us can agree to. Not trying to sound political here. Looking at the Federal Reserve odds for the next chairperson, Powell's still in the lead. Warsh has jumped up to second place, and Yellen has dropped in half overnight, putting Taylor in third. And as the day progressed, Trump had met with the GOP and actually, shockingly, asked for a raise of hands, a show of hands for the poll in the next Fed chair. And then some reports out of Political came out a bit later saying that Taylor actually was their favorite candidate for the next Fed chair. So dollar yen was selling off a little bit on some tax reform, negative tax reform news, kind of late New York, and then rallied when Politico came out with the report about John Taylor getting the most hands for the next Fed chair. So definitely whippy price action. Bottom line is, here's a 10-year note chart. You can see we're taking out these old lows. This is higher yields, lower price. I'll be curious to see if there's any fall through or not. As far as some of the other markets go, you can see gold had a reversal lower day after its reversal higher day. So again, that's just kind of stuck in a range, 1270 to 1285. The NASDAQ, after yesterday's reversal lower day, turned back up. There was some pressure early in some of the equity, in some of the NASDAQ, the FANG stocks, and those reversed higher. We did have some great earnings out of Caterpillar and a few other big industrial companies. So the Dow went on to make a new all-time high today. Euro yen, we highlighted yesterday, this outside reversal lower day, no fall through. In fact, we made a new high today. We closed below yesterday's high, but this whole 134.15.20 level now looks pretty key. You can see here's the opening of Asia right here. We're up a little bit on the day. Aussie yen, this chart pattern is actually fairly interesting. The outside reversal lower day, bearish pattern, followed by a doji during our trading session. So this next bar, this session's bar, is going to be important for the next, probably 1 or 2% move. And here's the New Zealand dollar. This thing just cannot bounce at all. We had this minor little bounce, rallied up in early Asia yesterday, up above 70 cents, and then more of the political backdrop sent it back lower and closed pretty much right near the lows of the day. Last year's close, just to start putting things in perspective, and I think this is a good time of year to start looking at where prices closed at the end of last year to see if it's up on the year or down on the year, reversal years. It's good information. Anyhow, 69.34 right here was where we closed last year in Kiwi. And you can look back and see around here, and you can see kind of what it's done. Here's a daily. Went all the way up to 75.50 and is now negative on the year, which is kind of crazy given the fact that the dollar was under so much pressure most of the year. So that's something to do. Take a look at the yearly charts and the monthly charts, quarterly charts as we approach year end. You generally will see some follow through. So Kiwi to me is definitely oversold and probably due for a bounce, but that'll be political headline driven. So that's pretty much it for the day. Keep an eye on those 10-year yields at the 240 level. Dollar yen starts looking interesting if we can get a break above. We can get a break above this 114. This 114.10 level, which is that high, that reversal lower bar, and then everyone's target and break trade is up here at 114.50. So we'll see if the U.S. yields can drag this thing higher. And just remember that seasonality is pointing for higher dollar these next kind of 8 to 10 weeks. So, we will be looking to be buyers of dips in the dollar and all the dollar pairs. Good luck today, and we'll speak to you on the European Open. Cheers.